It's my honor to make some comments on behalf of the Soybean Association, which proudly endorsed Nathan Willett earlier this summer. I had the privilege of traveling North Missouri with Nathan during Farm Bureau's Rural Routes Tour and introducing him at many of the stops. We had great events. And during our travels and while listening to Nathan speak with constituents from all across the 6th Congressional District, I was quickly reminded of the people and the industries that make the 6th District what it is. At many of the stops, I want to say, it wasn't just agriculture present supporting Nathan for Congress. I saw sheriffs, I saw teachers, I saw county leaders looking for a congressman that would help navigate a complex federal system and a fighter that will bring investment back to their communities. We need a doer. We don't need a talker. We need someone chosen by the people, not a political consultant or the swamp in Washington, D.C. We need someone who is a 7th generation North Missourian. And it's not by luck, this has been mentioned, but it's not by luck that Nathan has been endorsed by soybean, cattle, Farm Bureau, the Fraternal Order of the Police, Missouri Right to Life, local leaders, or the next generation. It's by hard work and proof that he can get tough things done in the face of adversity. So I'm honored, God willing, to introduce you to your next congressman for the 6th Congressional District, Nathan Willett.
This has been a great campaign, and we're into the final stretch here. And as you know, August 4th is when voters get to decide and who their next congressman is. And fortunately, we've been able to work all 33 counties, from Clay County to Atchison County to Marion to Clark County, and build a lot of different relationships along the way. But we've only had 120 days to do that. And so I'm leaning on friends and supporters like you all to get out there and let people know in your community that there is someone who's going to stand up and fight for everyday North Missourians, not just stand up for the establishment and be controlled by the system, but actually want to be productive and make some changes. A little bit about me. I am a high school math teacher, as Casey said. I teach math in the morning, and then I go down to City Hall and teach them math in the afternoon. I'm the only Republican on the Kansas City City Council, and so I know how it is to fight against or work in a system that's not necessarily geared up for success, or that is actually easy. My biggest accomplishment and first priority was to fully fund the police after the defund the police movement, and we worked around the mayor and got 7 colleagues to go with me to make sure we do our record increases to the police budget, make sure they have the salaries. And we went from 400 officers short in our city. Now we're only down 200 officers, and we have record academy classes, and City Hall has our first responders backs. And in doing so, and actually just working with our police chief, who just announced her retirement, we've done a lot over the last 4 years to get our police department back to where it needs to be. Not only that, it's about supporting the next generation. A big thing that we've been hearing across the campaign trail is about, well, what do we want the next generation to look like in terms of, are they going to come back to the communities? Or are they going to continue to work on the farm, or what's going to happen? And we see a lot of times college pushed on kids and saying that's your only, if you're going to be successful, you got to go to college. And I don't believe in that. I believe workforce development. I believe that should be tied in within our K-12 education system. On the city council, I secured $25 million for the largest workforce center that's coming into our state in North Missouri. It's going to be in Clay and Platte County and serve all the public schools and the private homeschool kids that can learn how to weld, plumb, be an electrician, take actually first responder courses, Fire 1, Fire 2, or some EMT prep courses, or even first responder law enforcement. And that's what a lot of people have been talking about, that they would like to see expanded across North Missouri as well. And so not only record of support and first responders and next generation, I've actually fought for my council district share of tax dollars to represent 90,000 constituents. And if you know anything about Kansas City politics, the Northland is normally left out of the equation. But I started off with $0 for our infrastructure for the next 5 years for our 5-year plan, and secured over $20 million by fighting and pointing out that that's not necessarily fair. And then on constituent services, I make sure that all the trash is picked up for my constituents. And if it's not done by Public Works, we'll make sure our office will go out and do it ourselves, or we'll make sure that that it gets put back into the route the next day immediately. And so I have a record of doing a lot of hands-on. And the good thing about being on a local government is after you vote on something or after you do something, you go back into your community, or you teach a lesson next day, or you go to the grocery store, or you go to a restaurant, and you get to see all the people that you represent on a daily basis. I know that's different in Washington, but the bottom line is I have a proven record and been proud to be endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police, been proud to be endorsed by Missouri Right to Life because of a pro-life record on the city council, got the first ever Safe Haven baby box, which is the second one going to be installed in North Missouri, but the first one for our region. And also have a rating by the NRA, the only candidate in the race that does, because I stand up for the Second Amendment and vote down every unconstitutional gun law that has been proposed by my colleagues. And so I don't just have the talk, I have the record. And I believe it's time for the next generation to step up and lead. As you know, there's a lot of things on the ballot next Tuesday. People are, interested about the amendments, or some of these local races are really firing up. And the congressional race, believe it or not, sometimes there's going to be a lot of undecided voters going into Election Day. And so that's why I ask each and every one of you all to make sure you contact 5 to 10 people a day from here on out, telling them to get out and vote for me, vote for the next generation, vote for someone who's going to do something, who has a record of actually going after local grants from the federal government. I will be someone who will put different community leaders in best position to go after transportation grants. I know how to do that firsthand. My office will make sure that everyone has that local match or whatever requirements are needed to be set up to go after it, making sure we bring our dollars back to our district itself. And we see a lot of talkers out there in DC, and it's time for a doer, and the next generation is ready to step up and lead.
And that's exactly why agriculture is standing behind you, Nathan. That energy, that enthusiasm, the vision that you have, that you want to carry from your humble roots all the way to DC. That's why we are so excited to support you. So I see Casey, Deb, anything else you want to say? Besides, get out and vote, folks, right? And I would say text at least 10 people, right, Nathan?
Yeah.
Set a goal, at least 10 people.
Yep.
While he was talking, I was texting. So I think I've done my 20 or 30 for today.
Keep going.
Yeah, I will.
There's still
and
daylight.
I'm still young.
That's right. Well, folks, very much appreciate you taking time to join us for this online rally to lift up Nathan Willett. Nathan, we're proud of you. Thank you for standing up, for raising your hand, saying that you want to represent our values, our industry in Congress. So let's get this done.
Thank you. Appreciate you all for coming and tuning in. Let's do this.